All right, the bombshell came from a government attorney earlier this week. The theft of a proprietary trading code from Goldman Sachs could lead to market manipulation if it fell into the wrong hands. Bloomberg columnist Jonathan Weil wants to know more about that bombshell and whose hands it happens to be in right now. He joins us. It's a very interesting story, and a lot of people are starting to raise questions about what is Goldman Sachs doing with this trading code that could manipulate the market?
Run for your lives if it gets in the wrong hands. It's an incredible statement that this prosecutor made, and just to put it in some context of what he made it, he was trying to get this particular defendant, Sergei Lenikov. I may have botched the Russian pronunciation on that, but he was trying to get the court on the 4th of July to declare him a danger to the community so he wouldn't post bail. So if there's anything, there is a bit of an incentive to exaggerate the harm that could come with this.
The interesting thing, I think your column sets it up nicely, and if you didn't read it at home, you can check it out on our website, Bloomberg.com. This guy, just to set it up for the viewer, was working at Goldman. He's switched over now to Citadel, but in the meantime, he had uploaded some code. And Goldman got on the phone to the Justice Department and got them so fast to nail this guy. It's almost, you wonder if they have a red line to the government.
It is amazing. Within one day of Goldman calling, they had FBI agents at his driveway doing surveillance. The next day, they arrested him coming off a flight from at Newark Airport. And you would think, if a customer ever called up the Justice Department and complained that, some big Wall Street bank just ripped me off, do you think that they would send FBI agents out that quickly?
They might have stronger connections over at Goldman Sachs.
I think so.
It's interesting that the prosecutor, from the testimony that I read, it almost sounds as if he is working at Goldman Sachs. I mean, he's saying that, this guy has stolen this code, which may impede, our market cap or Goldman's market cap. It's very interesting.
You do wonder how much due diligence and how much investigation the FBI could have done on this case in 2 days. Before they arrested this fellow. And this quote is worth reading in its entirety. Can I just
Please do.
Here's what the 34-year-old prosecutor, Joseph Facciapanti, the bank has raised the possibility that there is a danger that somebody who knew how to use this program could use it to manipulate markets in unfair ways.
If there's that sort of program, why does Goldman Sachs get to hold it? That's a good question.
Yeah, why should all of us trust Goldman Sachs to not use it in unfair ways, whatever those ways are, which he did not elaborate on? And it's really not obvious. There's been a lot of speculation by a lot of folks about, well, how could they use this particular, high-speed, high-volume trading program, algorithmic ones or whatever, to manipulate markets, and nobody really knows because it's a black box.
Well, and as the New York Post points out today, Goldman Sachs isn't so bad at program trading. They've been doing quite a lot of it.
Yeah. But could somebody who has that program and doesn't have all of Goldman's internal data sources be able to use it to to exploit Goldman or to to manipulate the markets for I just don't.
Or someone who doesn't have Goldman Sachs altruistic values.
Right. Exactly. The other really funny part about this story, too, is there were tons of quotes coming from people familiar with the matter saying that, obviously from within Goldman Sachs, saying, oh, there's no problem here. We're fine. Don't anything to be worried about. And then you listen to what this prosecutor was saying in court, and you'd think all hell is going to, break loose. And just be dogs and cats living together and disaster would come if this guy got bail. And guess what? He got bail.
750 grand. That was, they only wanted 500 for Alan Stanford in the first go-around. All right, Jonathan, thanks very much. Very interesting column, especially in the broader context of, the whole story that seems to be getting a lot of web coverage, at least, right now. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
He is a columnist, by the way, Jonathan. A reminder that the views and opinions he expresses in this interview are his own and not those of Bloomberg LP.
Spies, lies, and intrigue. Those are just some of the allegations flying around Wall Street these days. Sounds a bit like the Wall Street of old, but there are some new wrinkles. Ellen Braitman is taking a look at some of the latest charges. Ellen?
All right, wrinkles indeed. First, let's talk about Goldman Sachs and an update we've been following on a story the past few days involves a computer programmer, Sergei Lenikov. He was arrested last week for stealing software from the company, Goldman Sachs. He is now telling an FBI agent he uploaded proprietary code to an encrypted server. This is according to a copy of his FBI statement that we read in court files here in Manhattan. Now, in the court papers, prosecutors say the code is proprietary, it's worth millions of dollars, and it lets Goldman do what it calls sophisticated, high-speed, high-volume trades in various stock and commodities markets. The assistant U.S. attorney working on the case has said a person misusing the code might be able to manipulate markets. Now, as for Aleynikov, he told the FBI the code has not been shared, and it was not his intent to be involved, Eric, he said, in any malicious action.
Now, Ellen, as I understand it, this fellow Aleynikov was supposed to be hired by some ex-Citadel employees. What's going on with that?
In fact, right, he had been. And that's because the former Goldman Sachs employee went to work to a company started by former Citadel employees. It's a company that is called Teza. And now Teza said that it did suspend Aleynikov after these charges, after the arrest by the FBI. And Citadel is suing the company Teza, again started by former employees, alleging corporate espionage, saying that they had intent to, knowing that this code might then be transferred, or in fact, actually, that they would try to access Citadel code. Of course, Eric, everyone here against whom there are allegations is denying that. But again, it is, as you said, allegations of some espionage there involving these companies. Back over to you.
All right, Ellen, thank you very much.